Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today, we have a Kickstarter knife. I don't always get excited about Kickstarter knives, but I am excited about this one because A, it's very inexpensive, and B, it's made by a really cool guy, and I've admired his stuff from afar for a long time, and it's cool to finally get my hands on something. This is the Variant PE from Qvist Blade Works. And I do know it's pronounced Qvist because the guy who runs the place, Jacob Lundquist, sent a letter along with this prototype that said at the bottom it's pronounced Qvist. So I've always said Qvist, but I've been corrected, and that's cool. So if you don't know much about Qvist Blade Works, they do a custom version of this, which is very, very similar in overall shape and everything, and size and everything. But a very inexpensive custom, well under 300 bucks, I think like 285, something like that. So not too bad at all, the price for those. But now this one is made by QSP overseas, and on the Kickstarter right now, if you jump on, you can get one for 55 bucks. Estimated delivery is November. And the retail, once they come out, is only going to be a very nice $69. So not too bad. There are like one major variation between this prototype and the production ones that you will get, but we'll get to that in just a moment. I would argue even that it has a few things that I like better than the custom. So the custom does not have a pocket clip. This does, to make it more of just kind of an EDC sort of knife. And it does have a nice custom captive pivot that the production one does not have. It is a swayback design, as you can see on the handle. Swaybacks don't always blow my skirt up, but I do like this one quite a bit, and they are very popular right now, so it totally makes sense that this is a really good time for him to be going into a production variant of this, because yeah, it's just a trend right now. People are really into the swaybacks. Nice sheep's foot blade shape. It is undeniably, I think, a pretty simple but very attractive knife, absolutely for sure. For that $55 or $69, depending on if you jump on the Kickstarter or not, I highly recommend that you do. You get, this one says D2, the prototypes are D2, but it's going to be 14C28N steel, which in my opinion is god tier for budget knives. I really do like 14C28, so I'm very happy to see him doing that. Really, it's very easy to deploy. We're going to get into all this stuff, but it's just a really nice knife. QSP does a really good job. I know I have a lot of QSP fans on this channel, and I assure you there's going to be more QSP content coming up. I like a lot of their stuff too, but they did a great job. But let's get into some specs and some size comparisons before we go too much farther, and then we'll break down more why I really like this little thing. So you have a blade length of 3 inches, overall length of 7 inches. You have a blade thickness of pretty slim, 0.115 inches if you want to be really precise. Handle thickness just 0.44 inches. Weight 3.23 ounces, so a little over that ounce per inch thing, but that people just like to see, but it's not insanely so. Size comparisons, we'll bring out our usuals. You have your Spyderco Para 3. You can see it's even a little smaller than that. It's not a very big knife at all. And the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And we'll get out the Benchmades. We have the 940. And the full-size bug out. Just a little bit smaller than a full-size bug out, a little bit shorter. And lastly, we will do the Civivis, because this is going to be in that Civivi price range. You have the Elementum and the Backlash. So yeah, very, very Elementum-y sort of size and overall length and everything. Yeah, pretty darn cool. You know what? We're here. I'm just going to bring out just one. We're going to bring out the Rat Model 2. I'm not going to bother with the Model 1 because obviously I put the wrong knife away because I'm a silly boy and I'm leaving it in there. We're doing it live. So, yeah, it happens sometimes, guys. I'm shuffling knives. I get confused. But I wanted to see it next to the Model 2. I hadn't put it up next to it. So, Rat Model 2, yeah, very, very similar overall length to that. In a lot of ways, the construction and stuff just feels a lot like that, too. All right, let's talk about this knife. A really nice blade on this. Again, it's going to be different blade steel, so I don't know if this is going to stay the same. But on this one, it's 17 thousandths behind the edge. I imagine that will remain the same. And with the really thin blade stock and pretty much full flat grind, you got a little bit of flat there, but pretty much full flat grind. Yeah, it's very very slicey. I like it a lot. I like me a sheep's foot blade. It's just very handy. Got a a little bit of curve in there, just a little bit of belly. I almost said recurve, not recurve, a little bit of belly. Pretty good tip on it though, for being such thin blade stock. Can't really complain about that. I really like the blade on this a lot. I think it's pretty cool. And QSP usually does a really good job with sharpening and heat treating and all that. I've had a bunch and I've never had an issue with any of them. Can't imagine that this will be any different. As far as the ergonomics go, swaybacks don't. That's why I said I don't always love them. I've had a couple that I liked, couple I really didn't like. I've never had one that I really loved, but this one really does seem to fit pretty well, especially the way that I found myself using this a lot with my hand choked up a lot. It felt pretty darn good. But even if you're held back, it's just everything is so nicely rounded off that it works really well. And like I said, swaybacks are really popular right now. People just seem to love that handle shape at the moment. A lot of new stuff's coming out is like that. You had the Spider Coast swayback. You had Swag's knives to swayback. Yeah, there's been a whole bunch right now, and a lot of the I know a lot of the traditional knife makers too are going crazy on the swaybacks. So, but yeah, pocket clip is definitely not a factor as far as like feeling it or anything like that. Did a great job on this pocket clip. And that's one of the things I didn't like about the customs. Honestly, one of the only things that stopped me from getting one is they don't have a pocket clip. They come in a leather slip. I like me my pocket clip, so that's one of the things that stopped me from getting one of the custom ones. But this is pretty cool. I do have to say, ergos, great. How does it carry? Well, let's move the box aside that it came in and bring out EO Levi's. It's a pretty small knife. Carries really well. Pocket clip tension, again, is great. The G10 on this is aggressive enough to hold it in your hand, but not so. It's definitely not even in the realm of a pocket destroyer, even pocket damager. Nice deep carry clip, pretty much disappears in the pocket. Plenty of room to get your hand past because, again, there's no flipper tab or anything like that. As far as the deployment goes, pretty excellent, I do have to say. It is just the thumb hole deployment, but you can Spidey flick it. That's the first thing I did. Took it out of the box first time I opened it. And it was first try, fired right off. You can obviously, use your thumb to open it. Makes a good noise. Like that, again, something that kind of reminds me of the Rat, which is not at all an insult. But yeah, really good action on it. Detent's nigh on perfect. Very smooth. Yeah, I love the action on it. It's a fun little knife. And it's a fun looking little knife too. I mean, I know it's kind of basic, but it has that sway back that's a bit different. And again, for the price, especially when these are in 14C28N, yeah, $55 or $69, either one. That's a great price for this knife. I really do feel that way. And Jacob's a great guy, and it's cool to see him doing something more production. I'm excited to see how many of these he can move and if he's going to do another design. Like I said, this is basically the same as the variant that he currently makes in the custom. So, yeah. And again, really good timing, I think. I think this is going to be very popular on Ye Olde Kickstarter. I know that some people get antsy about Kickstarter, but it matters. It doesn't matter if it's on Kickstarter. It matters who you're buying it from on Kickstarter. You hear Kickstarter horror stories about stuff not getting delivered. This is not going to happen with this guy. I assure you of that. So, and with QSP, two company. I know the company that's making it. I know the guy that's selling it. You're going to get it. And I'm really excited about it. So I'm buying one. They come in either black or blue. There's the two choices at launch on Kickstarter. I'll probably go with the blue, I think, maybe. The blues are really nice, just kind of medium royalish blue. Yeah, I'm getting one. I really like it. I think this is pretty cool. I think this could be a really good, just kind of good EDC size, quasi beater. With 14C28N, I like that steel. It holds an edge plenty well enough, but it's super easy to sharpen. Finding very, very few things to hate about this, unless you just really hate swaybacks. But I'll say I'm not a swayback fan. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. definitely sway back agnostic, I guess, and I do like this one a lot. It's pretty darn cool. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Go check out the Kickstarter link down below, and if you really like this design and you want to get one of the customs, you can click on the link to his website. Currently everything's sold out, but he pops them out fairly regularly, so go check that out. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.